Linda Hawkins called me the other day, and I said, I listened to her spiel. I said, you know Buddy Bradshaw? She said, yeah. I said, you call him. That's all I can tell you.
It really ain't all I need to do, it's the state run health department.
He's the mayor of the county.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's another, that's
all I'm
another
telling
level.
you.
He's getting blamed for it.
Oh, yeah. I can't. I mean, ain't nothing else.
He's at the mercy of the state, you know?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
Then hear about some doses going bad, you know?
There's all kind of stuff out there. You know. There you go. So they get all those companies together and sending this stuff in. They never gonna have enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I fixed your clock up there. I fixed your clock up there.
What'd you do to it?
The battery's in it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Does anyone here that wants to address the council? We have a sign-in sheet. Megan, is it over here on the?
It is.
Okay.
Nicole made you swap places with her, didn't you?
We were hoping that we have less technical problems. These TVs, it's been unplugged and plugged up every way you can
Do I
imagine.
need to make the Wi-Fi announcement?
We're
Okay.
gonna all cross our fingers right now. It's,
Okay.
I think, seems to be holding steady. So. I'll unmute Zoom.
Every time you want to card would say something, you go up.
Just make sure we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you okay.
Awesome, thank you, Mr. Franklin.
What about Chief Webb? You wanna see if he can?
I do see something we need to do.
Chief Webb, can you hear us?
Hello, yes, I can hear everything.
All right. Is that the only two that's zoomed in?
It is. I am also not feeding the audio through the TV, so maybe
That's coming through your computer.
maybe that'll keep it more stable. If there's anyone who would like to address the council during that time, you can unmute.
All right, it's 6:30. I'd like to have your attention. We'll call our meeting to order. First, I'd like to read a notice of electronic meeting access. It says, to ensure government operations continue to function openly and transparently during the COVID-19 emergency while taking measures to protect the health and safety of citizens and government officials, Governor Bill Lee issued Executive Order number 71 on December 27th, 2020, which allows government bodies to conduct essential business by electronic means. And this electronic meeting access information is available online at cityofloudon.tn.org. Glad everybody could be here. Seemed like it's been a while since we've had a meeting. Seemed like it's been longer than 2 months, but anyway, this is our January meeting, and we have some special guests tonight. We have Reverend Rick Harrell from Bethany Baptist Church, our neighbor here, and then our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America is going to be performed by Mr. Clayton Scott, son of Bradley and Veronica Scott, and grandson of Tim and Kelly Brewster. So we're going to ask you to stand, and then Pastor Rick, if you'll lead the prayer, and then Clayton do the pledge.
Father God, we come to you with thanksgiving. It's a great privilege, Lord, to live for you in this world, to serve you in whatever capacity you call us to serve. Father, as we come together to conduct business for the city, we ask for your guidance and your hand to be upon us, that we could work together in unison and treat our fellow man with fairness and respect. Father, we need forgiveness and we need cleansing in ways unimaginable today. So we're always asking your blessing upon everything that we do. So we ask your blessing, Father, upon the city council meeting, that you could be honored in everything the city works to do. All these things we pray in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. All right, Clayton.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. Clayton, if you come up here in the front for just a second, I got something for you. Yeah. So you may not know Clayton, but Clayton's he's a patriotic young man, and he was very willing to do this. So we have a pen for you, and a flag, and then the actual. Your mom might want that. It just got your name listed. It's the agenda for tonight. So we appreciate you doing that for us.
Thank you.
So thank you. Let's let her take a picture here.
Perfect.
All right. I think I'm gonna, since I'm already out here in the front, I'm gonna go ahead and do the next, we're gonna skip around and move this up, the recognition of employee work anniversaries. We have an opportunity, and I thank Jason and Stephanie for working with me on this, to highlight our biggest asset, and that's our employees. I know how hard it is and difficult it is to work 25, 30, 40 years someplace, so we have employees that do that. So we've started a new program. We're gonna recognize those employees every month, and I had been doing that, just reading their names off, but we're gonna take it up another notch. Anyone from 20 to 40 years, we've created in five-year increments will get recognized this first year. So there'll be some with 26 years, some with 28 years, that kind of, so we didn't want to miss anybody that had 20 to 40 years. So we have two of those individuals with us tonight in January. They're not the only two that had anniversaries this month. They just fell into the 20 to 25 year category. So I'd like to recognize them if they could come up here. Mike Newman and Brian Jenkins. Okay, first is presented to Brian Jenkins, Police Department, in appreciation of 25 years of service to the city of Loudon. Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate it.
And then presented to Mike Newman, Police Department, in appreciation of 26 years of service to the city of Loudon in 2021. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate your service.
One more. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. again, I wanna thank Jason and Stephanie for working together on this, and hope it's something that, we wanted something special for our employees, that they can, it may mean more to them and hand it on to their families down. Some people they'll get several awards, at the longer they stay, so we do wanna recognize our employees and the service that they give. So next we'll go to roll call.
Mayor Harris,
Here.
Vice Mayor Dixon,
Here.
Councilmember Bivens.
Here.
Councilmember Brewster.
Here.
Councilmember James.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, again, we want to welcome everyone, and I'll do that by reading, just a format for our meetings. My name is Mayor Jeff Harrison. On behalf of the council and the staff, I want to welcome you here to our meeting tonight. Tennessee law gives every Tennessean the right to attend city council meetings and to observe how their government is doing business. We appreciate that each of you have taken time from your own personal schedules to be here tonight to see how our city government works. Everyone should have a copy of tonight's agenda. If you don't have a copy, you can pick one up at the table here in the front. This agenda is your guide to the topics we're going to discuss tonight. In order to conduct efficient, business-like meetings, the council has adopted specific rules to follow. These rules are designed to keep the meeting moving, assure that all points of view are heard and considered, and to provide for common courtesy. In a few minutes, we'll come to the place on the agenda which is entitled Citizens Input, where anyone who signed in to speak to council is encouraged to do so. Also, those that's joined by virtual can speak as well. We do, however, ask that you wait until you've been recognized before you speak. At the beginning of your presentation, please state your name for the records. Please address all your questions to the chairman, that would be myself, and avoid the use of improper language, profanity, or any inappropriate conduct. Once that citizens input portion is over, the council will proceed with the remainder of the agenda. You're welcome to stay and observe the meeting, but be advised that public comments may be limited. We ask everyone, remember, we're doing the people's business here tonight, which is a very important responsibility for all of us, and you can help us do this by observing the rules we've established. Again, I want to welcome you to our meeting tonight. Okay, the adoption of the agenda. Everyone's had the copy of the agenda sent out to them. Is there any corrections or additions or deletions to the agenda? Any questions about it? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt agenda.
Okay, thank you. Have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as sent out. All those in favor say aye. Okay, motion passes. Next is citizens input. Anyone here? No one signed in. Is there anyone on join us virtual that wants to address the council? Please do so at this time. We can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. Okay, all right. Thank y'all for joining us as well. Okay, next item on the agenda is the regular meeting minutes from, November 23rd, Thanksgiving.
Mayor Harris, I reviewed these minutes back in December, and I recommend their approval.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion, sir.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll
by Johnny, we have a second, Tim. Okay, have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from November 23rd. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. We have two fuel bids since we didn't meet in December, so we'll take these separately. The first fuel bid is for the purchase of fuel on December 17th, was received from Rogers Petroleum for the projected amount of $11,812.40 for unleaded gasoline, $1.44.9, and low sulfur undyed diesel, $1.52.5. So, do I have a motion to approve that fuel bid for December 17th?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
This is just some housekeeping to catch up. So all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right. Next fuel bid is for purchase of fuel on January 14th, 2021. That's also from Rogers Petroleum for the projected amount of $13,076.05. That is, converts to unleaded gasoline at $1.6394 and low sulfur undyed diesel, $1.6259. So I have a motion to approve that fuel.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you, Johnny. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tammy. I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Alright, motion carries. Okay, we get down to our ordinances on first reading. First is amending Title 5, Chapter 9, Section 14 of the Municipal Code of the City of Loudon regarding the parking of trucks on certain city streets. So, Mr. Ross, you.
Mr. Mayor, this has been discussed, in a couple of workshops, both December and January. Council considered several different solutions to the problem of parking on this, new residential street. It was, largely commercial until the new neighborhood was built there. And the solution, that the consensus was built upon would be to amend, section 9-514 of the municipal code to list Cedar Park Drive as an additional street, that would be, covered by the no truck parking ordinance.
Okay. Michael, you have anything to add since our workshop?
No, sir,
Okay. Alright, do we have a motion to, approve this on first reading, this ordinance?
I'll make a motion, we approve that.
Okay, we
I'll
have,
second
okay, we have a motion, second by Councilmember, James. Any questions?
I do.
Okay, Councilmember.
Ty, are there any way to save us from going through this process again? Could we amend that ordinance to say, or any other streets, the city manager, mayor, police chief desire, or that needed it? You know, this is a 2-month process. There's gotta be a way where we don't have to go through this if we need no parking signs.
I see what you're saying, sir. You're looking for efficiency. It's, and I appreciate the thought. I would recommend we think on it for a while. There are streets where this ordinance would be impractical because, there's just so much on-street parking, on the part of residents, especially those that don't enjoy driveways. So, it can't be universally applied. It's gonna be, spot here and there, but, hopefully it won't come up too often. I think it's only come up a couple of times since I've been here in the past 3-4 years.
I see the point you're making though, I mean, as far as,
It could pose a problem in other places, but.
Well, instead of amending our charter or our ordinance, we could have the wording in there, okay, we'll bring it to city council in 1 reading. If there's another one.
okay, well, we'll take
We can look at it
advice.
later.
We can look at it.
I appreciate what you're trying to accomplish there, and I think that we'll definitely figure out a way to do that if it's possible. I just think, from a law enforcement perspective, there has to be a reasonable notice of which streets are and are prohibited and are not. I think that's part of the ordinance process is getting that out there. But we'll look and see if there's a way to accomplish that.
Simplest thing right now is to add this street to the.
Yeah, go ahead and do this one and
Okay.
bring it back.
Good question. Okay, we have a motion, second, any other questions or discussions? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No, what?
It's an ordinance.
Oh, roll call, sorry.
Councilmember Dixon,
Aye.
Councilmember James,
Aye.
Councilmember Bivens, Councilmember Brewster,
Aye.
Mayor Harris.
Aye. Thank you.
Do you want to set the public hearing on that?
Yeah, we've got 2 of these,
I'm
so we
sorry.
do 620 and 625 for them, both of them. Okay, the next one is designating parallel on-street parking for Grove Street from Moore Street to College Street.
Yes, this was also, discussed by council at the previous 2 workshops and included in your packet and attached to this, vote is a diagram, produced by Michael Hogan in the Public Works Department, which will show, the proposed on-street parallel parking, those being 5 spaces. A number of different options were considered, including a larger or a more dramatic angle of angle parking, but it was a consensus again, was built on the parallel solution at your previous workshop.
So we go from 23 to 27? Is that the,
Yeah, the width.
The width of it.
Street width, yes.
so it's 23 down, it goes to almost 28 feet.
Approximately.
Yeah, approximately. Okay, as Manager Ross mentioned, we discussed this at workshop pretty thoroughly, so,
I'll make a motion.
okay, thank you. We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions for Manager Ross or Michael over here? Or- Okay, all right, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Bivens.
Aye.
Councilmember Brewster.
Aye.
Councilmember Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember James.
Aye.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank
So
you.
we'll set that for 6:25. Okay, resolutions, we've got several of those to talk about tonight. First one is affirmation of support of council members' staggered terms, and we had Angie's here with them tasks, so I will.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this resolution will instruct Angie Carrier and the rest of the MTAC staff to go ahead and draft the necessary language to amend your charter to create these staggered elections. There were several options that Ms. Carrier went over with the council, the two previous visits, and the consensus was either option 1 or option 2. The other options were quickly discarded, and tonight's decision is between those two options, options 1 and option 2. Both stagger the seats between 4-year terms and 2-year terms, but just in different manners.
Right, as we mentioned and discussed, one by the number of votes and others by preference of the candidate picking up the petition. And I talked to Susan Harrison today, and she didn't have a preference either way. She said both of them pretty much are very similar in nature, so she didn't see a big difference. I just want to make sure one wouldn't cause her office more work than the other, and she said no, So do we have a motion for either one of the two options that's listed?
I'll make a motion for A, B, C, and D. See,
Oh, so which would be, I guess,
staggered term,
staggered terms would be, I guess that's the,
first one.
That's option 1.
It's the first resolution.
it's the first resolution?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a motion to adopt the first resolution, which is, seats A, B, C, and D at the chosen by the candidate, which seat they want to run for. We have a motion for that on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion and a second to go with seats A, B, C, and D at the choice of the candidate. Is there any discussion or before we vote on that? Just make sure everyone's clear, and this will only be done in 2022, and then it would be a 4-year term, everyone back.
And this is the option that if nobody picks up a petition for those seats, it's just appointed by the
Yes,
council.
yes, right, yeah. It would be treated as a vacant seat, as far as council would, the council that is in place then would fill that seat. Good question. And this is just to create the 2-year, so you'd always have a mayor and 2 council members in the future that would have 2 years' experience on the council and wouldn't be starting from scratch with everyone. Any other discussion, questions? No, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Roll call.
Oh, no, this is resolution. So we don't have to have a roll call, right?
Unless you're concerned about the number of votes.
Yeah,
We're
it's
good.
it's in the eye of the chair. If you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna vote.
Okay, we can do a roll
I'm
call
good
vote.
with, I'm good with it.
Okay. Well, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Okay.
Motion carries. Thank you. We will in turn get that forwarded to MTS. They'll document that and we'll get it to our state representative and he'll take it to the General Assembly. Next item is accepting the bid for 2021 Loudon fireworks.
So, Recreation Director Harold did receive bids for fireworks displays this year. There was some discussion at the workshop between Independence Day and Riverfest for both. There's consensus built around having both displays or one at each event. Director Harrell went over the details of the difference between the two events, and such as the size of the fireworks and the number of minutes of each display. He's here tonight. He can review that with you again if you're interested in more of those details. The only change that we made between your workshop and now is a funding source recommendation. And because Riverfest is traditionally held downtown on the waterfront, we're recommending that courthouse square dollars be utilized. And that way only $5,000 would have to come from your general fund, your fund balance. And Director Harrell solicited a donation, a matching $20,000 donation from LUD this afternoon. So again, $15,000 from Courthouse Square, $5,000 from general fund that would cover the city's half, $20,000 of the $40,000 total.
So basically, the way it breaks down is utilities will be sort of paying for the 4th of July event, and we'll be paying for the Riverfest event. And since it is downtown and in that area, we can use Courthouse Square money for that event.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion to approve
I'll second.
that resolution in a second. Any questions or discussions about the Riverfest? Mark, anything you need to clear up before we vote?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is authorizing the refurbishment of sidewalk lanterns in the downtown courthouse square area. We discussed this too, so Manager Ross, you want to tee that up?
Yeah, everyone online in the room is probably familiar with the black decorative lamps that are scattered about downtown. They've got a little age on them. We're changing out the fixtures for LED, as well as touching up some paint and replacement of the clear gas or plastic that the lamps that contain the lamps. We estimate that the total cost of this project, we're a little over halfway through it, but we estimate the total cost will be $15,000, and we're asking this body to allocate $15,000 from Courthouse Square.
Okay. Again, we discussed this at the workshop, so no changes to what we discussed, so. Do we have a motion? Okay, thank you, Tammy. Okay, we have a second by Johnny and a motion by Tammy. Okay, any questions or discussions about the lamps and where the money's coming from? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item is kind of a housekeeping item. Many of the program policies and procedures for the City of Loudon Courthouse Square Revitalization Act Commercial Building Rehabilitation Program. That's a mouthful, but Kyle, check it out.
This is 100% housekeeping in that program and application, all the paperwork that's associated with it. It's very much like the grant, the way it's set up, but a lot of the wording in the grant was specific to certain individuals who are no longer employed here. And also it changes the dates and does general updating throughout the document.
Okay.
So this will set you up to make your deposit, which is the following resolution.
What's the next resolution?
Of the $50,000.
The 9th round was the last time it was opened up. We're getting ready to, the next item is to open up the 10th round for people to apply. So before we do that, we're just trying to clean up some of the housekeeping items that's.
Make a motion.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Brewster. Have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, thank you, Councilman James. Have a motion and a second. Any questions about it? It's just updating.
Well, I have some questions. It says that we're approving the program policies and procedures that are attached, but I don't have them.
Oh, on the hard copy, that's the 38-page document.
So everybody's read over that whole thing of pages. And the previous one. And there's an old one. To compare it to.
Email, look at
That's the old one and the new one? The old one to compare it to is on there? Is it just the new one?
The changes are, in the document that's on your email. The names have been changed for the city recorder, the city attorney, the addresses that it needs to be mailed to. It was going to the county. It now comes to the city completely, and the dates. Those are the changes.
Good question. Okay, have a motion and a second. Any other questions before we vote? That clear up your question? Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Now we come to the fifth item, which is authorizing the 10th round of grant applications for the City of Loudon's Courthouse Square Revitalization Act Commercial Building Rehabilitation Program. Manager Ross?
Yeah, with the updated language, addresses, names, and dates, in the program, this resolution simply, deposits $50,000 into the.
Right, and this just moves it over, and it's there for people to apply, and if they don't, apply, it comes back. There's several projects, I think, planned, and some's in the works now for people to maybe apply for reimbursement if their project fits the program.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Brewster, have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilman Member Bivens. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, last item in the resolutions is accepting the bid for TDOT PIN number 122610, traffic signalization replacement at major intersections pending concurrence from TDOT.
It would be considered, passing this resolution contingent upon TDOT confirmation of this bid award, but that came last Thursday.
Yeah.
So the trail is blazed, you've got the green light, and this council's award of the low bid of $822,067 from Stansel Electric Company to perform the work associated with the CMAC traffic signalization project at all Loudon's major intersections along Highway 11 and Highway 72.
And I think the great part of that is that last sentence, it's 100% funded, no match from the city.
Correct, 100%.
That's
We're ready to start too, aren't you?
That's a plus.
a plus.
It's just, once you approve this contract, we will issue a notice to proceed to the contractor and get it underway.
Wonder if we'll get a turn signal at Holland Avenue on that lot. There's not a turn signal there. You can sit there.
Right.
You can sit there through 2 lights before you ever get turned. But I don't know if that light will have a turn signal or not. Do you, Michael? Have you idea?
Not offhand, but I do know that there will be a programming phase. So the equipment will be installed, and then they'll follow up with a reprogramming.
I mean, I know there's a turning lane there, but there's not an arrow. Yeah, there's not an arrow there, so it'd be good if we could have
We
that.
will have additional controls of these lights in the future. They will be connected to fiber through our network.
Okay, we have a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you,
I'll
Councilman.
second.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Dixon. We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the traffic signalization replacement at major intersections. Have any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That's all the resolutions. I have one appointment, on the planning commission, the Loudon Regional Planning Commission. A seat was vacated by Gene Gammons. I don't know how long Gene has served.
112 years.
It's been a while. Gene has served valiantly and has not been in the best health, and still has continued to serve, and he's finally got to the point he would like to resign from that committee. And I've asked Carolyn James if she would fill that seat, and she's agreed to fill the remainder of his term, which I think is to 2022, I think. Something like that. But anyway, plenty of time to get her feet wet. She's very anxious to serve, and I think we need her on there. So That's my appointment for that committee, so Carolyn, our next planning commission meeting will be February 3rd, so we'll make sure you get on the email list and get all this documentation sent to you. Thank you for agreeing to serve. Department reports. Michael, we'll start with you. Do you have anything to,
No, sir.
just, I guess you got a retirement thing coming up?
Yes, actually, thank you for reminding me. We do have Charlie Best's retirement this Friday.
At 1 o'clock?
At 1 o'clock, yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll be celebrating at Public Works.
Charles is 39 years. No, he must have went just right out of school, I guess.
Grammar school.
Yeah, he was maybe 10 or 11 or something. He'll be missed.
Yeah, well, as many of you know, Michael invited, he sent an email out, invitation out, so that'll be at Public Works facility. Okay, that's this Friday. Chief Brubaker, you have anything?
I just want to let y'all know, Mayor, we have our yearly in-service training this week. So our guys and gals will be in training all week, Monday through Friday. And y'all want to stop by if you want to. We have a 3-story training tower outside right now that we're using today and tomorrow. And then also Wednesday, Mayor is going to swear in one of our new firefighters, Christian Gonzalez, that y'all met in November, I believe. Going to swear him in Wednesday morning, and we have our 2020 firefighter awards to give out. We're going to do it at 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. That's what I'll let y'all know the two things.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Chief Webb, you have anything to bring before the council?
I just wanna, for informational purposes, wanted to talk a little bit about the vaccinations at the health department. Many of you probably know, have been aware of the traffic issue that it creates when they're giving the vaccinations and doing the testing up there. The police department, we have been in a position since that's been going on where we've been reactionary. We've been sending officers up there whenever there's a crowd, taking care of it. And back at the beginning of January on a Saturday, many of you may have seen a story in the Knoxville news media about how the Knox County Health Department had moved their vaccination site out to the Knoxville Expo Center, and they vaccinated 500 people in one day. Well, on that same day, the Loudon County Health Department, down there at their office, in what I would regard as a whole, with poor infrastructure, vaccinated 450 people that day. And most of you probably know we had a mess. We have been able to, Mayor Harris put us in together with the folks from the health department, and we've been able to work with Director Harold, and we're going to start having those vaccinations out at Loudon Municipal Park. I don't know if you have been out there lately, but the EMA has worked with TEMA, has got us some equipment set up. Director Harold has set it up where they can store the vaccine in the freezers of the concession stand. So beginning Monday, February 1st, we'll be doing the vaccinations out there at Loudon Municipal Park. And what creates an issue is not only do folks have to line up and they give those shots, then after that, they've got to have a 15-minute period where they wait. And so the facility that we were trying to do that in just wasn't sufficient because of the infrastructure. And I think everybody is familiar with Loudon Municipal Park, and it'll be just a perfect place for us to do that.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Mark. I know Teresa Harrell called me today and told me February 1st. They're looking forward to being out there on February 1st, and said she was really appreciative of the 911. I think they gave there's a 10 out there, and I guess a trailer or two came.
Not wearing a trailer yet, there's a tent.
Okay, a lot of organizations are pitching in to help, so this sort of make that go a little bit smoother. So
I had a question for Barry. Is he standing on the bridge?
that's his background. Yeah.
Reporting live.
Yeah.
I have a question fast about, for Chief. I got some response today from some citizens about, where this location was. They asked me if, where the soccer field was, and I said, what are you talking about? And they said, well, when they called the health department was telling them to go to the soccer field. And so if someone could relate this to the health department to start relaying the message that it's at the, Loudon Municipal Park.
Well, we have also taken into consideration that folks are gonna have that problem and they show up at the health department. So, what we've done is we got with our mapping director at 911, and he fixed us up a handout. We're gonna have a police officer stationed up there early on Monday that actually directions and a map that would direct folks to go from the health department out there to Loudon Municipal Park.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Sure.
thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason, you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay, Nicole, have anything you need to report on? Okay, Mark? if you're
Yes,
next.
I add to what Chief Webb said, it has been, what I say, an honor to work with the health department and Chief Webb and his staff to be able to be a part of, hopefully, something that, will slow this thing down a little bit in our community. And to answer Councilman Dixon's, one of his questions is, we've had several phone calls today, mostly of the older folks wanting to know where the municipal park is, so we're directing them there. And I think our community is so well tuned to each other that once the first vaccines go, people will find it. They'll know once the first day is there.
Right.
You know, most of our seniors just don't know that the park's there. So we're giving them the address, we're giving them directions. And again, it's been an honor, basically a pleasure to work with the police department and mine as well, and team with FEMA and 911 services to be able to hopefully get this thing under control. Manager Ross and I have been working feverishly, I guess you could say, on the mowing contract. I guess you guys are probably reviewing that. We're going to be getting a copy in the near future to review. The bids go out January 27th, and all the dates kind of fall in place. Hopefully have something for you guys to review. 8 different sites will be offering in this bid packet, and I think it's February the 18th that the bids will be due. So any questions, please call me between now and our manager Ross between now and 27th before this ad goes out.
Okay, Director Harold just wanted me to thank everybody for being very cooperative. Teresa Harold at the health department said everybody in the city of Loudon, the firemen, policemen, Parks and Rec, City Hall, everybody's been really helpful, so she wanted to pass that along. I told her I would tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, council member reports. We'll start with you, Councilmember Bivens.
Okay, so, the Loudon County Solid Waste Commission met, it was voted on and a letter was sent to Santec. That letter was sent on January the 19th, and TDEC is requiring that all landfills do a closure, post-closure care plan. That care plan is due in by June 30th of this year. That letter was sent straight to Santec. The Solid Waste Commission never received a copy of that, as we should have. We have reached out to them and hopefully got that corrected, that we will start receiving that copy. But we have sent a letter to Santec requesting that they involve us in that procedure. We have requested that they have that to us no later than 90 days before submission date, so that we can approve it in writing, have a vote on it. And we've also asked that they include definitive dates for the closure, and specifically on dormant cells. We've requested that those be closed. They haven't closed the first cell since they've been in operation over there, which means that entire cost, when their term is up, is going to be left on the citizens and taxpayers. So that's business. That's how most landfills do business. But we're here to look out for the citizens and the tax dollars, not send it. So that letter was, like I said, mailed out on January 19th. So they have received that letter, I'm sure, at this point in time. Our next meeting will be the second Tuesday in February. And that's all that I have for right now.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Vice Mayor Dixon, you have anything to bring up, any report?
Yeah, at the planning commission, we had a request from, Tennessee National. I can't remember who they were, but, they wanted to combine, 2 lots into one.
Mhm.
And then the Great Escapes came and, with their preliminary program for, on Corporate Drive.
The RV park.
Yeah, RV park. They're on the way.
Okay. All right, so all you got?
Yeah.
Okay, Councilmember James, you have anything you need to report on or comment?
good.
Okay. Councilmember Brewster?
We have a Parks and Rec advisory meeting tomorrow at 5:30. And Mark's not gonna be allowed to speak.
Here at City Hall?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, is that it? Okay. We do, as I said, we had anniversaries, do have some that didn't hit the 20-year yet. We don't wanna miss them. The new kid on the block is Larry Joe Dockery. He, gas, water, and sewer, he got 1 year. Kyle Talent, waste treatment plant has 2 years. Tyler Wicker, 3 years with electric department. Dalton Giles, 3 years with electric department. Diane Cartwright in our county department, she has 8 years. And then Greg Lambert has 15 with the wastewater treatment plant. So I wanna thank them for their service. Ty, if you don't mind, could you give everyone an update on the, planning retreat that you got for February 22nd? Just, if anybody's got any question about that?
Sure, yeah. It's, I'm calling it Biscuits with the Bosses. We're gonna get together and just discuss infrastructure. I don't see it taking more than a couple of hours, but some different projects have been, floated, promoted, mentioned, over the past year. And we just wanna, put those up on the wall and see what sort of, consensus can be built around a short list.
Okay, does anyone have any questions about that? I hope everybody can make it on that schedule and that time. So,
Who's buying the breakfast?
okay, and, maybe an update on Queen Road bid update. It's in February, I think 17th, isn't it? Is that when it's?
That's when the bids are due.
Okay.
That's we're in the advertisement period now.
So that's, if anyone asks you about Queen Road, then, you know, hopefully we'll have a contractor to be presented to us in February, hopefully. Think that'll happen in February or March?
I think we'll have a pretty good idea at that point, whether or not we get that TDOT confirmation or what have you.
Okay.
Maybe we can, as Councilmember Brewster suggested, you know, pass something, you know, contingent upon TDOT confirmation, just to keep the ball moving.
Yeah, right, that was my point too, is, you know, we don't need any more holdups if there's any way, we just need to keep it in front of us. And, maybe share with, the council about the new Tennessee National owners.
Yes, Tennessee National closed, a week ago from Friday. The new ownership is local. When I say local, I mean Tennessee. They've built several neighborhoods, in Tennessee, 15, 16. They've got a lot of experience. And they've, built a nice portfolio, and they want to do a significant investment, in the city of Loudon, which would not just be residential, but also commercial, and commercial open to the public. Those site plans should be coming to us, soon, and will be coming to the planning commission. So I would look for those here in the next 6 to 12 months.
I know Tyler had lunch with the, new owners, and they got big plans, so that'll be really, really good for Loudon. And if you wanna see some of those, you can just Google Twin Lakes, that's the one that they've done in Manchester. This is Manchester.
Middle Tennessee, Winchester is the most recent.
Okay. But, they've got this is not their first one, so they've got some under their belt that they've done that, I think would be really nice if they do the same thing here in Loudon, so. Okay, any closing comments? Thank you, Ty. Any closing comments?
I have some, birthdays for January.
Okay,
The police department, Sam Harrison, January 29th. Fire department was Christian Gonzalez, January the 20th. And Hallie Udi was January the 14th. Public Works was Jason Lorenz, January the 26th. The electric department was Greg Brown, January the 3rd. And Bill Watkins, January the 23rd. The gas department, Lynn Davis, January the 6th. Brian Eller, January the 17th. Chase Randolph, January the 17th. The wastewater treatment plant was James Sinman, January the 11th. And the customer service department with David Garner, January 27th. And Patricia Johnson, January 27th also. To say happy birthday to all these individuals.
All right, thank you. Tammy, you have any closing comments?
No, good.
Okay, John, you have any closing comments, anything? Tim, anything else? Ty, you have anything else?
No, sir, thank you very much.
Megan, you got anything you need?
Thanks, so.
Okay, all right, this meeting is adjourned, thank you all for coming.
7:16.
Where you gonna go with yourself out about springtime?
You gotta go get it.
You might get over.